Hi, my name is Gino.
Hi, Verner here.
Nice to meet you. Our first question is, why do you think electronic medical records must be the blockchain?
The recent crisis in Singapore, like the medical records were actually hacked from the SingHealth. It's a centralized system. And then with the centralized system, people can actually tamper with the records. So by implementing blockchain, you cannot tamper with the records. So we're actually fighting medical frauds. We're actually giving you guys the permission that who actually owns this medical data. It doesn't make sense for us that if you go to a consultation with a doctor and then you already paid money for it. Am I right?
Yeah.
But if you want your records, do you have to pay money again?
Yeah.
You have to pay money again. Yeah, so is that a way how medical industry monetize your data? So this is where we bring that medical records actually should own by the owners itself. And then when you travel overseas, you might have an accident, you have access to your medical records. You don't need the permission of the guardian of your records right now. You have 24/7 access, and then you only let specific doctors see specific records from your medical data. Yeah.
That's really good, especially if you travel abroad and then something happened. Of course, you cannot go back, for example.
You cannot go back.
Yeah.
You can, but you have to call your family members to actually drag out your records.
Yeah. Our second question is, can you please briefly describe what your platform can do and what benefits can it bring to its users?
Because in Singapore, the rich are really rich. The poor is really poor as well. I believe even in Philippines, we guys also have a gap between the rich and the poor. So when the poor, they in need of medical needs, they have to keep dragging out their medical records. It doesn't make sense for them to keep paying and paying because you guys are actually the real owners of your records. And then when you use our app to actually go for consultation, we actually reward you with certain tokens, a percentage of our tokens, and then you guys can actually offset medical bills in the future, which will really benefit those people that actually like do not have enough money for medical bills. And all these tokens can be bought. You can pay for medical lab tests, you can buy medical equipment or medical stuff that you need for
your... And this is just by using the app?
Just by using the app, yeah.
Our third question is, do you have any chance to expand here in the Philippines?
I will look for partnership first. If they are a believer of this concept, we can bring this into Philippines. For right now, we are very focused on the ecosystem in Singapore first. We make sure that this ecosystem is actually running and ready
and solid
before we can bring this to another country, like neighborhood country.